Okay guys, so huge honor for me. I'm here today with Plácido. And guys, we are doing this mini series here about my single strap back take, right? It's my favorite back take, the one that I use against all my opponents when I was competing, and the one that helped me a lot to win my 5 world titles in Jiu-Jitsu. And today we're gonna look here when we're, so just like a recap here of what I have done. So we are working on this back take here that we don't need the seat belt. It's just one hand on the lapel and that's it, right? Which is my favorite back take and very first one that I learned. But in this position here, we're gonna imagine that the scenario that Plácido did a great job trying to recover the guard. He's gonna lift his right leg up and he's gonna try to sit. And guys, if I don't do anything here, look, I'm gonna go up and he's gonna get my side control, okay? But as we spoke about in the last 2 videos that I made, make sure to check that out because it's gonna help you a lot to understand this position. I love this back take here because when I have my opponent's lapel, I have a lot of freedom, okay? Because my right hand is free. When we have the seat belt, we don't have a lot of freedom. We are very tight on our opponent, which is good and bad. So I do like this one because it saves me a ton of energy because I just have to use one arm instead of 2. And because I have a lot of freedom here to move, to go back, to go behind, to go forward, and this and that. So when Plácido lifts his right leg up and tries to recover the guard, look what I'm gonna do. My right hand is on the floor, which gives me a good post. And I'm just gonna give a little jump to the other side, leaving one hook in, okay? So I did that. So now I'm just gonna open up my base a little more, forcing Plácido to stay kind of flat. Guys, this is the beauty of this lapel. Try to move, Plácido. He's completely stuck, look. I have kind of like my chest against his shoulder. I have this lapel here, which is making him very stuck. And I have my head on the ground, okay? Guys, now look at the options that I have here. I'm gonna start climbing with my hand underneath his arm until I find his shoulder. Once I found it, I'm gonna yank my arm out. So I'm gonna do this, like 1, 2, 3. I yank my arm out. And now my hand is gonna meet my sleeve and I'm gonna place my forearm behind his head. Guys, once I did that, all I have to do now is just to bring my knee forward, sit, and push. And I have the submission there. So let's see one more time. Fighting against Plácido. I'm gonna control his lapel with my opposite hand, so I don't need the seat belt, okay? My right hand is free. Plácido is gonna try to recover the guard in a very efficient way, lifting his right leg up. I place my right hand on the ground and I jump to the other side, leaving one hook in. Guys, I love this position because I can always use my right hand as a post and as a balance, okay? I'm gonna open my base a little more with my left leg and I'm gonna put my left head on the ground. Plácido is gonna try to move and he's completely stuck because my hand on his lapel doesn't let him move, okay? So, and I'm gonna stay here. Now my right hand is gonna go behind his arm and I'm gonna find his shoulder over here. Once I got to this position, look how tight I am, guys. I can even spend some time here because I'm doing a great job making him tight, okay? And now I'm gonna yank my arm out. My hand finds my sleeve. I place my forearm behind his head. And now I just move my knee forward. Guys, please don't do this. You're gonna lose the entire leverage if you do this. So what we wanna do, bring your knee as high as you can. Now I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna stretch my both arms against his head. So look what's going on here. My right forearm goes against his neck and my left wrist goes behind his head here in the diagonal. When I stretch my both arms, I get the back take Ezekiel, the back attack Ezekiel from the back, okay? Guys, another thing that's great about this position here is that once we find ourselves here, look how bad is this for him. Even if Plácido does a great job putting his back on the ground when I yank my arm out, look what's gonna happen. He's gonna fall right into the katagatame, okay? And then I would just need to connect my both arms, move my weight forward and push and get a submission from there. So again, that's why I love this back take so much, because I feel like it's almost like a seatbelt with only one hand, you know, like one hand does the entire job of the seatbelt. Guys, as I told you, this was the very first back take I learned in my career. When I was still white belt, 14 years old, my instructor came from Carson Grace lineage, and I heard that that's back take that they do the most. And that's the one I have been using since then. So it's almost like the same way I have my over-under pass that I use it against everybody. And instead of learning like hundreds of different guard passings, I learned one guard passing and I tried to master that guard passing. Same thing with the half guard. Instead of learning like butterfly, spider guard, De La Riva guard, I just tried to focus in the half guard and master the half guard. I did the same thing with the back take. So instead of learning like hundreds of different back takes, I learned one back take and I focus on that back take. And this is the one. So I think that's gonna help you a lot. And in the next video, I'm gonna show you the most painful thing you can do against your opponent when you get the back attack, when you get the back take. We do what I call the spread chicken. And so make sure to check out the next video on YouTube, on my YouTube channel that I'm gonna post soon. And also, I'm launching this entire instruction about the single strap back take, and it's showing every single detail, every single transition, every single move from that, every single counter. And it's gonna come out very soon at BJJFanatics.com. Maybe by the time you're watching, it's already there. So make sure to check that out. Thanks so much, Plácido. Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. And to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTubeFaria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.